The high-risk list is an important tool for the government to responsibly manage trillions of dollars of spending. And if we're honest, when the Biden administration came into office, there were certainly opportunities for improved oversight of past federal spending. With the Trump administration's $2 trillion tax giveaway to the wealthy and giant corporations, Republicans' actions had a detrimental impact on the federal deficit. In fact, President Biden inherited a historically high deficit. As always, Democrats came in and started righting the ship. For example, take the investment in our tax enforcement made possible by the Inflation Reduction Act. That provision alone means billions of dollars back in the pockets of American people by having the wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Unfortunately, my friends on the other side of the aisle are proposing legislation to directly undo all of that good work. Their Default on America Act is part of the backwards catastrophic Republican plan. According to Moody's Analytics, the Republican budget would, quote, meaningfully increase the likelihood of a recession and result in 780,000 fewer jobs by the end of 2024, end quote. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle are willing to put our country on the brink of recession to make sure that the top 1% can get away with contributing half or a third of what a school teacher or firefighter pays in taxes. Does that make sense to anyone here? The Republicans' proposal slashes non-defense discretionary funding by 22%. That would mean cuts of more than 20% from everything like veterans' medical care to rail safety inspections and more. The Default on America Act would also threaten the strength of our federal workforce and the ability of federal agencies to fill those workforce vacancies. So, Mr. Dodaro, how would the inability to fill critical workforce positions at federal agencies contribute to an increase in high-risk programs?
Well, 22 of the 37 areas on the high-risk list, 22 of the 37 are on there in part because they already have critical skill gaps and shortages. So the extent to which those continue or exacerbated would prevent them from solving fully and gaining the capacity that they need to be able to address those issues.
Good evening, friends. So this is happening. You may start to receive extra monthly benefits very soon. Recent cuts to SNAP benefits have made a big impact on the economy. But as the Federal Reserve warns the country to expect a recession, many state lawmakers are passing new bills that would boost benefits by $100. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, I will be announcing more winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway of $75 next Friday. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My dearest friends, the more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. Extra SNAP payments during the crisis expired in March, leaving millions of Americans with much smaller SNAP balances in their accounts to pay for elevated grocery prices. This cut reduced monthly benefit amounts by at least $95 as Americans continue to deal with the largest annual increase in food prices since the 1980s. According to Morgan Stanley estimates, this reduction has had a rippling effect as cuts led to a $4 billion economic slump in March, while consumers tightened their belts. U.S. retail sales fell unexpectedly also in March, dropping 1%, as consumers cut back on buying motor vehicles and other big purchases. Yahoo News noted that retail sales are typically an essential gauge of shoppers' confidence and financial stability. Consumer health is vital in determining the overall state of the U.S. economy. Ellen Zentner, chief U.S. economist at Morgan Stanley in New York, said, "The expiration of SNAP benefits is another catalyst that will lead consumers to become more cautious spenders and allocate a greater share of their wallet away from discretionary items." While sales fell across the board for many brick-and-mortar stores, online retail sales are up 1.9%. Reuters pointed out that this is likely due to consumers looking for deals and discounts to get lower prices. Data from Bank of America also revealed that Americans slowed down their usage of credit cards and debit cards recently. A slowing economy may be an indicator of a potential recession, meaning less money headed to your wallet and more moving out of it. Depending on where you reside, you may see an extra $20 included in payments to households that meet the right eligibility criteria. The criteria is available to certain California households that qualify for SNAP. In 2014, the state's SNAP agency, CalFresh, began issuing state utility assistance subsidy benefits to all qualifying households. Under this program, the state can increase food benefits for certain SNAP households if they also qualify for heating assistance under the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand also announced the introduction of her bill that will expand and strengthen SNAP benefits for more than 40 million Americans. The Closing the Meal Gap Act would increase the baseline for SNAP benefits and also eliminate eligibility limits and barriers. Many financial experts spent much of 2022 warning consumers to gear up for a 2023 recession. And a big reason boiled down to the interest rate hikes that the Federal Reserve was implementing. The Federal Reserve has been trying to cool inflation for over a year now, since higher living costs have been wreaking havoc on consumers' budgets and forcing many Americans to rack up debt just to stay afloat. So by raising interest rates, the Fed has made it more expensive for consumers to borrow. The logic is that if consumers start to cut their spending in light of that, it should set the stage for a cooling of inflation, since the supply of available goods will have more of a chance to catch up to demand. Now, the good news is that the Fed itself is not anticipating a deep, intense recession in the near term. Rather, it thinks our next downturn will be mild. But the bad news is that the Fed also thinks it will take 2 years to recover from our next recession. And that news is less encouraging. Economic recessions have the potential to drive unemployment way up. And that's a fear that a lot of Americans are grappling with right now. The idea of losing a job can be terrifying, even during periods of economic stability. But losing a job during a recession could mean struggling to find work for months on end. Hopefully, the next recession will not be as intense as some financial experts have cautioned about last year. But the idea of a 2-year recovery is surely not good. That is why now is a good time to gear up for a recession, even though it might be a mild one. Well, my awesome and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Saturday. Thank you, dear friends, for being part of this community and for joining me here every single day. The 2 winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway is Carol Fiore and Norma Loza. Congratulations, my dear friends! To claim your gift cards, please check your notifications page and send me a message. Or you can message me on my Facebook page. Remember, friends, I will be giving away more gift cards next Friday. To enter the weekly giveaways, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.